Hey guys, what's going on? We got another Enhancement Shaman PvP video here. We are doing Turbo Cleave at I think it's 1850 CR right now, maybe 1900, I'm not sure. But we are playing Turbo. We're playing Stormbringer as well, and if you guys have been playing, I am curious to what have you had more success with? Lately, I found I've had more success with Stormbringer, playing the Storm Tempest build and just doing massive ascendance windows. So, yeah, but other than that, I haven't quite been playing as much PvP as I thought I would have this season. I don't know if it's because PvE is so much more fun right now, or if it's that PvP kind of feels a little weird right now, and maybe, well, it definitely is quite a bit dead at the moment. So I'm not sure, but something about PvP I think needs to change or possibly improve or something like that. But, anyways, let me know your thoughts. Let's get into this. So, first, my UI is a bit scuffed right now because I'm still messing around with things, but we are fighting a Dev Evoker, a Windwalker Monk, and I believe that is a Holy Priest. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. So for this one, we want to stay close to the Dev Evoker and make sure we interrupt him as much as possible while making sure the monk isn't just running us over all the time. The monk is definitely very squishy. As you can see, his HP is dropping it's dropping very easily, for lack of better words. So we want to make sure we're pressuring him, one, to force him to back off, and two, he could potentially fall over very easily and very fast, especially if he doesn't have karma. If he doesn't have karma, then he's definitely an easy target. And you can see there he was casting Fist of Fury and it was chunking me. I went ahead and used Lasso there. One, it stopped his cast because during Fist of Fury they have a 100% parry chance, and also it does quite a bit of their damage. So Lasso there was good, and he also used Trinket, which was perfect, so he doesn't have any way to get out of a stun. And I have about 13 seconds coming up for Ascendance here, so I am getting ready to blast him. So I saw the priest go in for a fear, so I drop my tremor, make sure Shook is not CC'd, drop a cap totem, and I see the holy priest in a angel form, so I start backing up, forcing the monk to chase after me, and he makes the mistake of following me while I'm in Ascendance, and I just totally annihilate him. And that's really why I love this build. Is honestly, I really like Ascendance, and I have been playing it a lot more in PvE as well, enjoying it more. I think Ascendance is probably my favorite button as an Enhancement Shaman, but Primordial Storm is definitely up there as coolness. But here we are fighting an MM Hunter, a Shadow Priest, and a Dev Evoker, or not a Dev, Pres Evoker. Sorry. So our main focus here is going to be kind of the Marksman Hunter. The reason being is because Marksman Hunter can't be shut down by just interrupts, where I can kind of shut down the Shadow Priest with just interrupts, right? So you can just use your kicks, and then you can use CC and stuff on the MM Hunter to stop his burst, because MM Hunters are definitely terrifying right now. And there you can see I dropped Tremor Totem and the sleep did not break, which I found really weird. Either I was out of range, or by the time I moved it, they killed it. I'm not sure, but it was really, really weird. But you can see we're able to stick to this Hunter. I'm not doing a very ideal job of interrupting. I definitely need to do a whole lot more. But I see the Psyfiend, go after it, and sit here, interrupt. It was kind of a weird stall. I was going to go for a Hex, but then realized Hex is on CD because I'm not looking at certain things. But here you can see us chasing. He's got Rewind or something on them, or Time Dilation I think it is. And I pop Bloodlust Doomwinds, hit whatever I can, and connect, get as much damage as possible. Big Tempest right there. You can just see the amount of damage we just randomly dish out, which is great. I love it. And I would like to see some buffs, not necessarily to our damage, but to our gap closers. So who knows if that's going to happen. Hopefully it does, but Enhance definitely needs something. It's not terrible, but it definitely gets bullied out of certain things like Frost Mages or Warriors and stuff like that. So here we are fighting an Enhanced Shaman and a Beast Mastery Hunter. This comp is also known as Beast Cleave. I am struggling today. So you can see here I pop Bloodlust and the Shaman instantly burrows. And also it looks like the Shaman's playing a more old school Storm build, which I found interesting. He's playing the old Totemic Ascendance build, which is cool, but I found it a bit odd, but it is what it is. He had a whole bunch of defensives up, so you can see I'm holding Doom Winds and I'm holding Ascendance because he's got Guardian Angel and his Astral Shift up. So I just waited those out, and then I popped Ascendance and started blasting him. And you can see he's taking a whole lot of damage. Just quickly, their healer went for a Holy Fire and went ahead and interrupted it, and then Shook ran in for a nice Hodge. And you can just see the Shaman kind of struggling. He went for a Hex and then canceled it, and then he popped his Stone Bulwark, getting a bit of defense. And here I start getting a bit low, so I go ahead and start spamming Stone Bulwark, make sure I get enough HP, and you can see we're just forcing the Enhanced Shaman to run. He's trying to kite us out, but he gets Storm Bolted and just taken down. We just ended up running him over because Enhanced is very weak against melee, which is kind of odd because we are a brawler type, but we're also an anti-caster that gets kited into oblivion. I don't know. It's so weird. It is very weird. But on to the next match, which is Shadow Priest Feral Druid. This is probably one of the biggest pain in the butts of a comp to fight right now, in my opinion. Other than Frost Mage, Destro Lock, or something silly like that. This comp is definitely frustrating. One, the Shadow Priest is most likely going to be free casting. Reason being is because the Feral Druid is going to be spamming Cyclones all day. Cyclones are definitely the most overpowered CC in the game right now. I don't know if anybody can argue that, but not to say that like it needs a nerf or it needs to be changed, but the fact that you CC somebody, they can't be dispelled, broken out, but they also can't be healed or anything like that is kind of insane. So our main focus is kind of the Shadow Priest, but at the same time we don't want to let the Feral Druid do whatever he wants. The Feral Druid can definitely do that just by being around. He can Cyclone us and everything like that, so we have to be very, very careful about what we interrupt and when we CC, because if we do anything wrong, he's going to go ahead and Cyclone. So you can see there we missed a kick, so I had Grounding Totem, perfect. Ground it, he can't CC us while he has Precog active. Awesome. That way we're not getting CC'd, and I see Psyfiend on me or something tentacly zapping me, so I just go ahead and LOS. Boom, it's basically useless. Come back around a little bit because the Psyfiend should be fading off in just a second. There it goes. Now I don't have to worry about killing it. You can see there the Feral went for another Cyclone, so I go ahead and get that interrupted. He goes for another one here, so I go ahead and let him cast it out because there wasn't really anything we could do to stop it. I pop Bloodlust Doom Winds, we get him a bit low, but he's running away, so I go ahead, quickly swap to the Shadow Priest, or the Disc Priest, I guess. Swap to whatever target I could hit because I wasn't able to really chase down the Feral Druid. So I figured, okay, let's just get some damage out and see what happens. They get a bit of CC on Shook, but it doesn't really do too much. And then I see a Psyfiend here, go ahead and use my Hailstorm Frost Shock, one-shot it, perfect. The Druid goes off and CC Shook some more. They're kind of putting some pressure on him, trying to see what they can get. I think they get Bubble here, yep. And then he goes for a Mass Dispel, which got interrupted by Plum, thankfully. And then here, the Feral Druid's running off, so I'm like, okay, I can't catch him. I'm just going to hit the Shadow Priest again. Boom, get a bit of pressure. The Feral Druid's back in melee. We go ahead and swap right back to him. I got a big Tempest, boom, big damage. He swaps to Bear, and during Dark Ascension too, which means he's not doing any damage, so he's not getting any value out of that Dark Ascension, which is perfect. And there, the Shadow Priest lands a double fear on me and Shook, which is a bit unfortunate. So I go for a Hex, went to kill the Psyfiend, but missed it with the Lightning Bolt, which is fine. So I ended up getting it back with a Frost Shock, and then we're back onto the Feral. I see Pain Suppression just about to fade off, so I go ahead and pop my cooldowns. He instantly maims me, which is fine because that's what he should be doing. He should be CCing me. Here, I should not be attacking the Feral. I should have swapped to the Shadow Priest here. Bit unfortunate and a bit of a misplay on my part. Put some pressure on the Shadow Priest. Try and get dispersed because I cannot make it over to the Feral Druid. So I was like, okay, let's just pressure somebody and see if we can't force this Disc Priest to do a little bit of double healing. Spend some mana, see if we can't get him to and he's darn well close, down at 23% there, as you can see. And then we get back onto the Shadow Priest, put some pressure. I saw the Feral Druid walking over to Shook, sorry, trying to get him into CC with clones. So I go ahead, interrupt him, and then I lasso him, just stopping him from CCing Shook to make sure that we don't have to worry about anything. Here we get a nice triple CC, a nice stun from Plum, and then into a nice fear, forcing the healer to trinket. And then the druid is back in bear form, especially during Dark Ascension, so he's getting no value out of this. So we've just put so much pressure on them, he can't even do damage at the moment. And now we're getting repressured, the Shadow Priest doing enormous amounts of damage, and Siphene comes out, they do a quick little swap to Shook, but don't really get anywhere with it, so I'm hitting the priest here, just trying to get some damage and stop his damage. So here I wish I had Thunderstorm to knock the priest away, but we didn't, and we're kind of playing in the priest dome there, so I go ahead and burrow because I was in a bit of danger. Plum still has his defensive, so he's not too worried. So I go back, push in, we get the druid back in bear form. I root the priest so he can't follow too well. The druid has to stay closer to us, he can't move too far away. I go ahead, pre-tremor the fear, but Shook goes ahead and stuns him, so he can't get the fear off. He stuns me. I have cooldowns ready. He clones me. I'm like, okay, perfect. I trinket, Bloodlust, and we're going to Doom Winds blow this guy up here in just a moment. And huge amount of pressure. He can't run away because I have a bajillion range, and he goes down. But yeah, that is one of the biggest pain in the butts of a comp that I hate fighting. But anyways, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Laters!